Before we begin this video, I just want to take a quick second to recognize the fact that I'm very privileged to be in the place that I'm in. I just wanted to record this video in order to share my thoughts and feelings and to hopefully make other people feel not so alone in experiencing the same things that I am. So thank you so much for being here today and watching my video, and let's get into it. Hello. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie, otherwise known as the Vintage Academic, and welcome to the floor of my bedroom. I make fun and informational videos and vlogs about community college, the transfer process, and what life is like as a transfer student, and sometimes some vintage videos just to mix things up a bit. For today's video, I thought I would get comfy and cozy down on the floor in front of my couch. And in case you're wondering, no, I have never actually sat on this couch. The undercarriage is completely destroyed. It's being picked up to be repaired this week, so maybe in a future video you'll actually get to see me sit on it. Anyways, today's video I wanted to talk about how I'm feeling going into my first year at UC Berkeley, and then the main point of the video, which is to chat a little bit about my fears and then also my goals for my first year at UC Berkeley. Today I'm going to be pretty casual. I don't have a script. I have some notes, some bullet points, but I'm mostly talking off the cuff, and I hope I remember most of the things I was going to say, because I have a tendency to sit down and film and my brain goes completely blank, and the only reason why I know what to say is because I've scripted it out. So wish me luck today. Grab yourself a cup of tea and let's get started. I am going to start with my fears so that we can end on a positive note. So the first thing I wrote down was imposter syndrome. I am nervous about experiencing imposter syndrome as a transfer student. I experienced it a little bit in community college, mostly because I did really poorly in high school, and then I failed my first semester of community college, and so when I started doing well, I kind of felt, is this right? Are you sure that I got a good grade on this? I don't feel like I put in the amount of work that deserves an A. I tried to get over that in community college, and I think I did a pretty good job, but now here at UC Berkeley, I'm actually a couple of weeks into my first semester, and the imposter syndrome is hitting me like a train. And it's interesting because it's not the, are you sure that I did work that justifies an A? And it's more like, oh my god, everybody is so much smarter than I am. I definitely don't belong here. I kind of expected to experience a little bit of that. Being a transfer student, you come in not being enculturated in the ways of the school that you're joining, while the majority of the other people have an advantage over you because they've already been at this school for a couple of years. So they kind of know what's expected of them. They understand how the culture at that school works. So I expected that, and I've experienced that, but the other thing I didn't expect, feeling less smart than the other transfer students. There are some incredible transfer students in my cohort who ask really smart questions and have really interesting things to say, and I'm sitting here like, the imposter syndrome has actually been a bit of a struggle already. I was afraid of it happening, and it is happening, and I'm trying really hard to get over it. Okay, let's move on to the next one. The next one I wrote down was not making friends. I think everybody experiences this. I think I even talked about it in my transfer fears video that I did a while back when I was still in community college. My main worry was that I'm a 25-year-old transfer student, so I'm coming in with teenagers. I know that UC Berkeley has a wide range in ages, but the majority are still teenagers. I've been out of high school for 7 years now, so like in my orientation group, I realized that I don't understand some of the memes and the things that people were saying, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so old. And then on top of that, online semester, the big Rona. That little pesky thing called a pandemic. I am already not very good at online communication. It's been a thing since I started using the internet. Trying to make friends in an online format is quite frankly horrible. I've been really lucky because I've already made a really good friend, and we talk a lot. You've seen her probably in a couple of my vlogs, and so I consider myself lucky to have made a friend, but I haven't talked to anybody else, to be quite frank, and that's a little bit not true. I did go through sorority recruitment, and so I'm in the process of becoming a new member, and part of that is they pair you up with an older member of the sorority house and you talk to them. So I'm trying to make friends that way too, and that was kind of the point of doing sorority recruitment. If you want to know more about that, A, I'll do a whole video about it, and B, click the link in the card because that will take you to my first week of college at Berkeley where I go through the recruitment process, so you can watch about that there. I find it a difficult process and I do feel a little bit lonely at the moment, but I am also very lucky to live with my mom and my boyfriend, who are both two very close friends of mine. So the next one that I wrote down was too hard, not understanding, getting bad grades. It's been an adjustment is all I can say. Community college is vastly different from the UCs. It's a big culture shock. There's a lot that you have to adjust to, and the entire learning style and teaching style, it's entirely different, and so I've had to adjust to that. The first couple of weeks were definitely rocky, but I'm feeling a little bit better, more settled into my routine now. But my bigger assignments are starting to show up as I'm getting more weeks into the semester, and so now I'm starting to actually worry that, like, what if my work's not good enough to get good grades? Let's move on because this video is going to be long and I haven't even gotten to the goals yet. Oh, I wrote being a big fish in a bigger pond, and that kind of goes along with the whole like too hard, getting bad grades, grade deflation, the curve and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I got straight A's in community college, but then everybody who goes to Berkeley were the people who got good grades, right? So, I mean, not necessarily, but that's how I feel. Okay. Another big one that I wrote down was identity, not feeling like a bear. And so that goes along with the whole challenge of Zoom University and everything being online. I don't want to say that there's a lack of community, but I definitely haven't felt like I'm a UC Berkeley student. I'm a bear, right? There's no game days. We don't get to go to games. I don't get to hang out on campus with friends. I don't get to experience all the things that you would normally experience as a UC Berkeley student, so I'm having a little bit of a struggle with that. But I've joined a couple of clubs and, like I said, the sorority, and I'm working on it. Then the last two things I have are worrying about finding something to research for an honors thesis and affordability. Now the honors thesis, I'm not even gonna like try to get into that because it would take way too long to explain, but basically I'm worried that I'm not gonna be able to find something to research. It's not until my senior year, but I am still a little concerned about that. And then the other one was affordability, and I mean, everybody knows that the UCs are expensive. School is a big commitment, so it's hard to balance school with a full-time job so you can keep paying your bills. She's snoring. Those were my fears going into UC Berkeley, and after a couple of weeks in summer classes, some of them have been alleviated, some of them are still persistent, but I'm trying to deal with them the best that I can, and I think everybody goes in being a little bit nervous, and transfer students have a whole nother set of challenges that face them, so yeah, let's move on to goals. Goals. The first one I wrote down was research, and this has to do with my honors thesis, but also it has to do with the undergraduate research apprenticeship program, or called the URAP, which is a thing that you can apply for as an undergraduate student to do research with a faculty member. I'm excited to say that I've already met this goal. I have 2 offers to do a URAP. I have to pick one and to sign the contract, but the point is I will be doing research this semester and maybe this year, and I'm very excited about that. I will talk a little bit more about that in a future weekly vlog because I cannot wait to start doing my research. It's my first time doing like real actual research and not just like volunteering in an archaeological dig, but like actually analyzing the data and organizing it and putting it in databases, and that all sounds really boring, I'm sure, to you guys, but it's very exciting for me. The second point that I had was make connections with professors and other students, and I've not been doing a very good job at this. Normally I'm in professors' office hours, I'm there and ready with questions and getting to know them and making myself known. I've talked to a couple of professors outside of class during their office hours, but I haven't actually sat down with them to say like, hello, introduction, here's who I am and what I want to do. And again, that has to do with the whole online format thing. Like, I just straight up forget when my professor's office hours are, and then I forget to schedule an appointment. And I've also, if you've had an eye on the news, or if you don't live under a rock, you would know that California is disintegrating. It's on fire everywhere, and the sky is gray and dark and it's kind of depressing right now, and it's a little bit hard to be motivated, and so even some of my professors are super distracted at the moment, so I'm kind of chalking it up to, like, you know, dealing with the apocalypse and all that. The next goal that I had was to join a club, and I've done this. I have met that goal already, and I've technically joined two, I guess. The Anthropological Undergraduate Association, which is the anthropology club on campus, and I'm very excited to be a part of that. They seem like they're much more active than I was ever able to make my club on my community college campus, so I'm really excited to start engaging with them. The next goal that I had was to vlog. We'll see how that goes. Berkeley is very busy. I'm also having a hard time finding a way to bring variety to my vlogs because I wake up, I sit at my desk, and then I go to bed. The next point was maybe double major. I tried double majoring starting this semester, and I will talk more about that in my next vlog, so stick around for that because it was a time. So, but I want to double major in linguistics, so we will see how that goes. The next one is honors thesis, which I already talked a little bit about. The honors thesis is basically, I have a research project that I want to do. I propose it to a faculty member and the people who run the honors thesis program, and then they tell you yes or no, and then you get to do your own independent research with the help of a faculty advisor. It looks good on a resume, it's a good writing sample, and I could use it as an example of things that I can do if I want to go to grad school. Which leads me to my next point, which is to figure out whether or not I want to go to grad school, because if you want to be an archaeologist, I have heard that you at least have to get a master's, and so now I'm trying to debate between applying for a master's program or applying for a PhD program after I graduate, which is just a lot to think about. That's why it's on the goals list. I want to figure out what I want to do this year, because then in my senior year is when I guess I would start applying. So anyways, and then my last one is to somehow make this college experience my own. I think that there is the typical college experience, but right now with the way things are, it's really up to every individual to make it their own, and that's kind of how I feel when it comes to community college as well. You only get out of community college what you put in, and so I think I'm actually kind of well equipped for that. I have a couple of things that I'm working on. First of all, YouTube and making friends and joining clubs, and I am doing my best to make this a college experience that's worthwhile and memorable. I'm sure that this was a long video, so thank you so much for sticking around to watch all of these. I want to be transparent and honest about the way that I'm feeling and the things that I'm struggling with throughout my experience at Berkeley and beyond. But I also want to share like the happy things and the goals that I have in mind and that kind of stuff, so you guys can like see how that progresses, because that's the whole point of this. I want to share this college experience, and I'm very excited to do so. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Tell me what some of your goals are for this year of college. Don't forget to check out my social media links in the description below. If you want to see the TikTok version of this video, because yes, I made a TikTok, that's in the description. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!